Listed as one of the top 100 psychics in America. Empowerment psychic Halley Elise shares the spiritual, metaphysical, holistic, and magical powers of the universe. Follow Halley on her website at HalleyElise.com, and all her shows can be seen via live stream video. Now, here's your host, Empowerment psychic Halley Elise.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Glad for you to join us this evening. Wanted to remind everybody that the first Monday of the month is the Psychic Gallery, and this month, or I should say next month, which is April, it will be April 4th, but it's always the first Monday of the month, and that's in Boca Raton, Florida. So if you'd like to join us, be sure to check out my website. It has all the event information, time, etc. Plus, you'll be able to get a discount. At the door, it's cash only, and it's $25. Online, it's only $20. So you want to go to HalleyElise.com, and that's HalleyElise.com. Now, also on the site, in case you haven't gone before, you have an opportunity to take a look at previous shows. So if you've missed shows this past year, you can click on the archive. It's easy. On the front page, it says something about the Halley Elise show. You just click on that link, and it'll give you the most recent show, as well as the opportunity to look at previous shows. So very easy. There was something else I wanted to share. Oh, I know. The Florida Renaissance Festival over at Quiet Waters Park. If you did not have a chance to go out, this year it was 7 weeks, or I should say it is 6 weeks, not 7 weeks. And you have the opportunity this weekend to go and enjoy. And from what I understand from friends, because I'm not there this year, it is Carnival. That's the theme, Carnival. So you can dress up as if you were going to Carnival. So it's an interesting mix of myth and mystery and history, all kind of blended together. The shows are phenomenal this year. I actually went as a patron for the first time in, 20 some odd years, and had a ball. Had the opportunity to see a new act that they have with a woman who comes from, I believe, Spain, with dancing horses, and that's pretty amazing. And she talks about the history and how horses have been involved in our lives. And you see these massive, beautiful beings interacting with her, and you can tell that they love her and they love her direction. There's not any sort of aggression. You know, oftentimes when you see these older types of shows and they want to reenact, they're a bit more aggressive than they need to be, especially with animals. This gal has it down, and it's all with love and direction. So it's definitely worthwhile seeing. My lovely friend Ray is there, who's the falconer, and he does an amazing show with his birds. You don't want to miss that. What else can I tell you about? There's several vendors, I think there's about 100 actually, that you can go and visit, and they have the most amazing pieces, the amazing things. You have artisans there who hand make things, and they're astounding, really, because of the craftsmanship. There's a gentleman there who literally will make jewelry in front of you, another who does glass. So it's worthwhile going out if you haven't. And I'm sorry I won't be there. I do know that there is another booth, or should I say tent, that's there, and there are a couple people doing tarot readings. Not my forte specifically, though sometimes I have ladies in my tent who do the tarot. I work with the Egyptian cartomancy, not so much the tarot. But you can go on out, check them out, see what you think. I've heard, I'll be honest, mixed reviews. Some people love them. Some people are just busy saying, but we want you. So what can I tell you? Next year, I'll be out there, and hopefully Lady Dale will join me again, and some of the other folks that you've seen over the years, such as I have the lovely Lady Tracy, who this year is working at a friend's tent over at the Broom Closet. So that's about it. I think it was a big enough commercial. What do you think? But really and truly, it's fun. And this is the last week until next year, till next February 2017. So if you haven't been out, go have a great day. Besides, you get to interact with royalty throughout the day, and that's kind of fun as well. And that's about it for that. All right, this evening, it is the third Monday of the month, which means it's Psychic Monday. If you've wanted to call in and you thought, well, I don't really know, I don't want people to know that I'm on the phone, my private life is my private life, it's okay. You don't even have to give your name if you don't want to. The number is 888 888-565-1470. So sorry, just blanked out there for a moment, but it's 888-565-1470. And if you want to call in this evening for a reading, it's complimentary. Otherwise, you can join me at the gallery, like I said, the first Monday, or of course, private readings at the office. Again, information on the website if you want to give a call. What else can I tell you real quick? I was trying to think if there was any other info. I think that covers it, actually. So on the way here, I was thinking perhaps we should talk a little bit about animals and ESP. And the reason being, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. Well, one of my dear little ones, my kitty, Loki, passed today. And normally I don't share personal things. It's funny. It seems like the longer I'm the air, the more I tend to share over the years. But he was with me for 14 years. He came to me when he was 3 weeks old. I've been doing animal rescue. It's funny. At the age 14, I started, as that's how old he is. But obviously, I'm much older than just 14 years. Anywho, he came when he was 3 weeks old in a little box top, and he was accompanied by 2 litter mates, and they had been abandoned in an air conditioner fan motor unit, and it was flooding because it was a crazy storm. I'll share more in a minute because we're going to take just a quick break. Thank you.
Wow, this looks really great. Oh, gosh, I've got to stop talking to myself. The Psychic Gallery on the first Monday of every month, 7:30 p.m., here in Boca Raton. De-stress, connect with intuitive abilities, laugh, learn about psychic phenomena, and get psychic messages? Psychic messages? Woo! Where's the price? Here it is, only $25 at the door? Awesome! How do I sign up? Oh, easy. Go to HalleyElise.com. Nice. $5 off online? Oh, I've got to call the girls and tell them about the Psychic Gallery on the first Monday of the month. Great time. 7:30 p.m. Perfect. Have to remember HalleyElise.com for the Psychic Gallery.
You're listening to Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise, and she invites you to visit her website for more information about all that she does at HalleyElise.com. Now, back to your host, Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise.
Hi, if you're just tuning in this evening, shared earlier about different events and things that are going on. You can, of course, check the website, HalleyElise.com. This is Psychic Monday, so if you want to call in, dial 888-565-1470 for your reading, complimentary, of course. And as I was just sharing before the break about my little Loki who had passed today, who had come to me when he was teeny tiny, only 3 weeks old, with a couple of litter mates and how that came about. And, you know, I think back to when the maintenance man brought him to me and said, "Here, I know you take care of animals because I do animal rescue." And at the time, I knew he was going to stay. He was going to be ours. My daughter at the time was little, and he was the only orange one, and we've never had an orange kitty, and she fell in love with him, of course. And they say our orange kitties, you know, those redheads of the feline world, that they can be a bit out there and very active and spontaneous. And he had so many antics. It was incredible. But he was also one of the sweetest kitties I think I've ever known. Anyways, all this said, and how it ties in as far as psychically, is that so often people want to know that when their animal passes, are they greeted like people? Or when they pass, can you communicate with them? And, you know, are they around us? And the answer to all of that is yes. A lot of times somebody loses a dog or a cat and they'll say, you know, Fido was on the bed. I just know it. I felt the bed depress. I felt the movement. I felt them around. So in the same way that people have the ability to connect with us energetically, so do animals. And when someone is in the process of passing, as in a person, oftentimes they see their little pet show up before their time, before they pass. Often you'll hear somebody say, there's mom, there's dad, there's grandma, all these people that have passed on, and they start smiling and they start talking to them, and they'll say, oh, there's Fido. And people around think, oh, wait, it's getting close to that time and that person must be hallucinating or imagining, well, the truth is the veil between this world of what is construed as solid and beyond are not that far apart. We're always, if you will, intermingling. We're just not so often aware of it. So since this is spring and the equinox, it's interesting. Everybody's saying happy spring on the 20th. It's always been the 21st, really and truly, for years and years. Things like everything is speeding up. But think spring, think new beginnings, think renewal, rebirth. So if you're dealing with a loss at this time, and actually this past week was kind of tough. I have a loved one, a family member who passed also. And my head didn't, I'm just recounting here. At the funeral, I wasn't thinking of how sad I was about this person. I was thinking about all the fond memories I had about this person. I was thinking about how much fun we had. It was a cousin, and we grew up together. And what came to me really was joy. This was somebody who lived their life the way they wanted to live. They were a phenomenal person who helped other people, who became a physician so that they could make a difference in the world, and truly did. And sadly, they were afflicted with Huntington's, and often known as Huntington's chorea, which, sad to say, runs in the family. But they were not consumed with the idea of getting ill. They were consumed with the idea of wellness. So as I was there and the rabbi was saying prayers and people were deep in thought about the loss, I really and truly was thinking about the gain, how much my lovely cousin added to this world and what a difference he had made. And then when my little guy, today it was made clear that he was leaving us, the same thing. I thought about when he showed up at the door at 3 weeks old, and how when he was a kitten, he used to run around and grab a ball, and he thought he was a dog. He would play fetch, and he just did funny little things. He would scoop his little paws under your arm, like one under one side and one over, and then lay his head on you so you couldn't move. He was a bit of a character. And so he gave a lot of joy to not just me, but to my daughter, to other family members, and my cousin and my little buddy. Of course, they're going to be missed, but I would rather focus on the sweetness that they brought. I'd rather focus on the goodness. And I truly believe we have the ability to communicate with our loved ones. It's not a matter of needing to go to a medium who is going to interpret and see for you. It is a matter of being open to that communication. One of the easiest ways, just so that you know, and this is within that psychic realm, that you can connect with that loved one, is to go into a meditative state. See yourself walking along a beautiful golden path, knowing that when you turn a corner, there's going to be somewhere to sit and somewhere that's lovely and comfortable, and that when you sit, your loved one will come join you, come talk to you, appear in whatever way that is comfortable. Oftentimes what happens is when you fall asleep, there is a communication that way, and somebody will wake up and they say, oh my gosh, it was so real. It was as if grandma was right there. They were giving me a message. And oftentimes the things that are said within that dream time, whether it's during sleep or during meditation, are very apropos or completely accurate, such as you're wondering where, I don't know, grandma's ring was and nobody could find it. And grandma comes to you in a dream and says, it's underneath the drawer. And you get that info. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Thank you. Want to do something fun the first Monday evening each month and have a psychic reading too? Then join me, Top 100 Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise, for the Psychic Gallery. You'll de-stress, refresh, laugh, play with energy, and have your questions answered. Don't miss out. The Psychic Gallery with Halley Elise. Go to HalleyElise.com for more information. That's HalleyElise.com.
Tune into the Halley Elise Show with your host, Top 100 Psychic Halley Elise, Mondays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Immerse yourself in a magical world. The Halley Elise Show is your portal to all things psychic. metaphysical, spiritual, and holistic. Again, that's Mondays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, here on your talk radio station, WNN. Let Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise help your spirit soar. You're listening to Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise, and she invites you to visit her website for more information about all that she does at halleyelise.com. Now, back to your host, Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise.
Hello again. You may notice that this evening we're taking I'll say liberty with our breaks, and that was my doing. I wanted to have just a little more breath time, simply because of the day being what it is. But as I was saying before break, you have the opportunity to communicate with your loved ones who are no longer here. For those who feel that there's discomfort tapping into their own abilities or seeking out that information on their own, of course, there are mediums, and there are some fabulous psychic mediums that you want to go to. I do want to clarify, and I often do this in respect to the word psychic, the word medium. People, even now, and I say even now because I know I almost feel redundant in sharing the information, but I get asked all the time, as recently as yesterday, what's the difference between a psychic and a medium? Think in terms of psychic like a doctor. Just because someone is a doctor, it doesn't mean they're a foot doctor. It doesn't mean that they're an eye doctor. It doesn't mean that they are a nephrologist. Psychic is a broad spectrum word, and someone who has psychic abilities can be a medium or a channel or a trans channel, or can be clairvoyant or clairaudient or clairsentient. We could go down the list. But you see my point here. The word psychic simply means somebody who has the ability to tap into extrasensory perception. I think it was much easier years ago when people used to say, oh, that person has ESP, because you kind of knew what that was. Today, with the Long Island medium and with the South Florida medium and with so many mediums around, people don't realize that they aren't specifically psychic with other abilities. They may be. I don't want to discount, because some are, but not all are. So just something to consider. If you want to go to someone who's going to give you a portent of your future, you want to come to someone like me who is clairvoyant, who has that ability to perceive what's going to take place. If you're looking to contact Great Uncle Sam, who passed 50 years ago, you want to go to a medium. You want to go to a trans channel who is going to deliver information from other sources. Perhaps it's an entity or someone, we'll say from a collective, such as you've heard of, I'm sure, the Hicks Abraham teachings. They're channeling. That's not being psychic in respect to portent of your future or talking to your deceased relatives. It's that channeled information from a divine source, and it's actually a collective that they connect with. So just some things to keep in mind when you're seeking out a psychic. Find the one that works best for you. If you are referred, that's always the best way to go, because this way you know for sure that this person, well, I shouldn't even say for sure, but you have a better indicator that the person is going to give you the type of information that you need. So something to consider here. Okay, as far as psychic ability goes, I truly believe that everybody comes, I'm going to change that, not just believe, but know that everyone who comes to this planet, everyone who is born, does have psychic ability. Now, you can call it gut instincts, you can say mother instincts, you can say, I just got that feeling, or you could say there's deja vu. There's so many different ways to say I had an intuitive moment, but oftentimes people don't realize it till after fact. So when those things happen, really pay attention. So for instance, if you think about a friend that you haven't seen or heard from in forever, and all of a sudden they pick up the phone, that was actually a psychic moment. You were connecting. You had a precognizance of what was going to happen, whether you understood that in that moment or not. But the reason you want to acknowledge it is so that more of those types of situations show up for you. And it is very helpful in business and in relationships if you have somewhat of a knowing about things. Now, you can drive your partner crazy if you know where they're taking you and they want to surprise you, or if you are waiting at the door because they wanted to surprise you with a night out and you didn't know it, that could get to them a little bit. But by the same token, wouldn't it be nice if you know what to get that person? Not because they told you, but your gut, that feeling, that innate knowing directs you. What about in business? In all sincerity, I do a lot of teaching, a lot of programs on helping the individual tap into their own ability with the Psychic Apprenticeship Program. And I also have the Manifestation Program. And both programs really teach the individual how to connect with themselves and with Source. And so that simply means being more aligned with the divine, being more aligned with your own knowing. And if you put that into business, what that means is you make better choices. You talk to the right people. You make the right deals. You follow through with the right people. You can call it a hunch. You can call it a gut feeling, but it doesn't really matter what you call it. It comes down to listening to that innate knowing and allowing it to influence your life in a very positive way. So if you're looking to develop your skill set, there's a million books out there. I have programs, as I said. If you've not seen my book, Treasures Within, Meditation with a Friend, that is a collaborative effort with my friend John Castaghini, and we put that out in 2001. It's in all the bookstores, and it's online as well. If you need more info, you can, of course, contact me directly at HalleyElise.com. I thank you so much for tuning in this evening and hope you have a beautiful week. Good night.
Bob, did you see Halley Elise in the paper?
Who?
The empowerment psychic, Halley Elise. They did a 2-page write-up. The columnist was enthralled. Halley went right to an issue that she was dealing with. I'm looking at HalleyElise.com right now.
What are you thinking? Should we schedule an appointment?
Matter of fact, yes. You have issues with Sue and me, my business. Take a look at her background. It's impressive, and she has decades of experience.
I want to put it on my iPad. What's her info?
Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise. HalleyElise.com. 561-755-2166.
Spell it.
HalleyElise.com.
So it's HalleyElise.com and 561-755-2166, right?
561-755-2166. That's it.
You're listening to Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise, and she invites you to visit her website for more information about all that she does at HalleyElise.com. Now, back to your host, Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise.
So are you laughing yet? I am. I said goodnight and it dawned on me, oops, we were taking a break. I'm a little off kilter, I guess, this evening, so you'll have to forgive me. Hopefully I didn't lose a whole bunch of people with them shaking their head going, hey, wait, what happened? The show is really quick this evening. What can I tell you? Human. Anyways, before the break and before I said goodnight, I was talking about the fact that you can tap into your own ability for business. You can use it in relationships. And you know that really the best part about using it is you feel closer to your source, whether you call source God, Adashem, Buddha, Jesus, whatever your, if you will, foundation is based on. When you feel confident that you know what's going on, when you feel safe to make decisions, when you are gratified with the decisions that you make, you feel that you're in alignment with Source. You're in alignment with that natural flow of the universe. And so if you've been thinking, well, I sometimes know things, but I don't really think I'm psychic, you are. It's just to what degree, that's all. Some people come into this world and sadly it's beat out of them in the sense of you have to be very analytical, you have to be very linear thinking, that intuitiveness, you don't really need it. It's like saying you don't really need creativity. I can't even tell you how many people I've heard that have beautiful talents, creatively wise, who are dissuade. The parents might say, you're a fabulous artist, but you really need to have something to back you up. Instead of saying you're a fabulous artist, and that's that intuitive, that right hemisphere of the brain, and tapping into that and being able to really enhance it and make your life about that, doing the thing that you love, they say, no, you really need to get a real job. Or you get a singer, or you get a pianist or a flautist. People who are artistic and musical, people who seem to come up with ideas that are outlandish, that's coming from an intuitive knowing. It's not coming just because they don't want to deal with the real world. It's not about them not wanting to participate or conform. It really is about them tapping into what comes to them naturally. It's innate. And if you have any of those gifts, that intuitive knowing, that artistic, if you will, need to express yourself, and you've been dissuaded for one reason or another, stick your toe back in. Seriously, you'll find that your life is happier. You may be a superb attorney or an accountant or physician or garbage man. Doesn't matter what the field is, and yet you may have been feeling a pull to go in a different direction for many years. And perhaps you were thinking to yourself, I know I'm really good at that, but, I was always told, can't go in that direction, can't make a living. Why not? Truly, why not? We have a different paradigm within our society nowadays. People are more open to understanding that you can follow your bliss. You can tap into that intuitive knowing. And the more that you center yourself, the more that you're open to that knowing, the happier and the more content you'll be. If you don't wake up feeling happy, if you don't wake up being excited about your life, your world, then you may want to reevaluate. Are you doing what you really want to do? I was on another radio show as a guest a while back, and it was so funny because I told the man calling in he's not doing what he wants. And all of a sudden he got quiet because he knew it was true. All right, folks, this time, believe it or not, it is good night. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week with the Halley Elise Show. Take care. Good night.
Be enchanted and delighted. Connect each week here on WNN for the Halley Elise Show. Also on Facebook and at HalleyElise.com. Thanks for tuning in. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.